Hello, hello, Eisenhower artists. This week you're going to be using the element of art called value to draw a slice of pumpkin pie. Value means the light parts and dark parts of your artwork. Adding value to your art really takes it to the next level. You can see in the slice of pie the dark part and light part. And look at the crust, that's also a different shade. The plate has two shades, a light part and dark part. So using value in your artwork is an important skill to learn. We're going to draw together step by step using simple shapes and lines. Now remember, you have 1 week to do your art assignment. You can get the drawing steps done now and then maybe come back to it later for the color steps. As you're watching this video, you can pause and do the steps and then play again to continue at your own speed. Alright, to start off we're going to fold your page like we usually do to make guidelines. Now remember, it's a soft fold. Go this way like a book. Don't smash it flat. Turn the page and go this way so it's tall and narrow. A soft fold. This will give us guides to draw things in the right shape and in the right place. Okay, so you have the middle of your paper here. Put your fingers like this and draw a dot in the middle of your fingers right on that fold. Okay, and then over from this dot, draw another dot about right here. And then from the middle of your paper here, put your fingers this way, like that. Draw a dot in the middle of that space from here to here. Now you're going to connect these two dots. From here, there's two, but go to the one off to the side. Draw a line and connect it to that dot. That's this line of your slice of pie. Then from this spot where you ended up, you're going to follow along your fold line. So you're going to go back, follow along the fold line until you get over here, not directly under it, go a little bit farther out, and then you're going to connect these two with a slight curve. Alright, that makes the top shape of your pie. Now I'm drawing very dark right now with my pencil so you can see on camera, but you need to draw lighter because some of these lines will be erased. And you want to always be sure that you can change things as you go. Now we're going to draw this part of the slice of pie going down from the top. We have the side view of the pie and then the crust. Okay, so over here at the tip of the pie, put a line going down. How tall do you want to make your pie? Is it a very deep dish, tall slice of pie? Or is it kind of smaller, thinner slice of pie? So put a line going down on that side and that side. Then you connect those two. If it doesn't connect always, or if it goes too far, let's say it went like that, just erase the parts that don't touch. Now we're going to do one more edge. This is the crust. Okay, so go down again, but this one is definitely going to be thinner. So go down again only on this side. Then you're going to go backward, following that first line, keeping it thin. When you get over here, you're going to go back a little bit longer away from that corner. Then you're going to start going up towards this fold, up. When you get to that fold, start curving out to make the pie crust. Now I didn't like that curve very much. I'm going to try again. When you get to that fold, go out to make the pie crust. So it's just a curve like this. Now we're going to go back this way to make the edge of the pie crust, and it's curvy. So right here where you ended up, you're going to bump down like a letter M, bump down, and then curve back up, down, up, till you get over there to this dot where you started, and you're going to curve down. Connect it to that dot. So up here along the pie, we want to add some of the highlights. So anywhere along this curve, put another curve with a flat bottom shape. So like a curve here, and a flat bottom shape, a curve, and a flat bottom. Those are some highlights, some details on the pie crust. Okay, next we're going to do the whipped cream on top. So it's going to overlap parts of the slice of pie. You want to start somewhere along this pie crust right here. Put a dot like maybe there. Okay, now to make this curvy teardrop shape, you want to go this way a little bit and then pull out and make a big U shape. So you want to curve that way, make a big U shape, and come back up to the top and connect it. Okay, now whipped cream is messy, right? It's not a perfect little teardrop shape. You're going to erase where that whipped cream overlaps now. Okay, now to make it look more curvy, we're going to put a shape here that will later have a shade next to the white. So in the middle of your whipped cream shape, put a dot. From that dot, you're going to curve down like a smile, down, and then touch the edge. Go back to the dot, curve this way, and touch the edge. Okay, I'm going to show you some pictures of a slice of pie and the whipped cream. I want you to pay attention to the shapes of the whipped cream. Pay attention to the edges of the pie, how you'll see a dark part and a light part. And then also pay attention to the different shade of color on the crust. Okay, now we're going to draw the plate. Up here near the top, near this edge of the pie slice, you're going to start curving around, and it's going to be an oval shape. Okay, so a circle is like this, but an oval is like a flattened down circle, a circle that got pinched and flattened out. That oval shape is what we need to do for the plate. Okay, so somewhere up here on this side of the pie, you're going to start going around. It's not very far away from the pie. And then you go down and look ahead where you're going. Where do you want to end up? You want to end up somewhere over here on the crust. I'll put a dot. So when you keep going down and then curve like that. This side of your plate, you want it to resemble a letter C, a curve like that. Make sure it's flattened enough. Okay, now draw the edge of the plate. So inside, you're going to do another line that's close to the edge. So you just follow the edge, take your time. Turning the page helps. Follow that edge. Turn it as you go. Don't go fast. Just like that. Oh, mine got too thick in the end, so I'm going to make it a little bit thinner. That's the edge of the plate. Then to give it some more value and to help it look a little bit more like a plate, you know how some plates kind of dip towards the center? We're going to do that dip with some dashed lines. And right here it's going to curve, and here it's going to curve and dash just around the plate. All right, so this plate right now, it's floating in the air. We need to put it on a table. So up here near the top of the plate, somewhere near the top, make a straight line going all the way off the page. It's got to go on this side of the plate also, so you got to jump over the drawing of the pie and everything. So just pretend it's going through here, it'll come out right about here, let's say, and go all the way off the page. All right, that dot that we started out with, getting rid of that. Behind the table and everything, it's going to have this tiled wall, or maybe it's a brick wall. I'm going to show you how to draw simple lines to get this tiled wall effect. So up here at the top, put your finger up there, and under your finger, you're going to start drawing a line that goes across. If you want to use a ruler for this, you can, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So I'm just going to draw it without a ruler across like that. Leave another finger space, so under your finger, draw another line. When you touch the pie, if you get near the pie, remember to jump over, keep going across. And I can fit one more finger space, I think. So I'm going to put one more line, jump over the pie, all the way across. Now, those are horizontal lines that go side to side. The vertical lines, we don't just go straight down like that. That would make a grid. They need to be offset in different places on each row. So the top row, you're just going to go over as much space as you want. Don't put a whole bunch of lines close together. Leave a big gap. Put a little vertical line until you run out of room. Till you get to the other side of the page. Leave them spaced apart. On the second row, whatever space you have here, this first tile, you're going to go in the middle of that, down. Okay, so then look at the next tile. In the middle of that, down. This next tile right here, what's the middle? About right there. That's where I go down on the next row. This tile is this space. The middle of this space is about right here. Go down. This tile in the middle, go down. And that one goes right off the page. Okay, now with this row, the same thing. This is the tile now. This tile is half of it, so we're going to ignore that. This tile right here, what's the middle? Right about there's the middle of this tile. Go down. The middle of this tile is right behind the pie, so we only see a little line. The middle of this tile is right there. See that? The middle. We're just looking at this tile right here. The middle of it, go down. This tile, the middle, go down. This tile right here, the middle, go down. Okay, now we're looking at this row. We're looking at this tile we created, this rectangle. There's the middle. There is the line going down, making the next row. There's this space. It's right about there. Go down. Let's hop over. What do we have? This tile. The middle is here. Now it's touching the plate, so stop right there at the plate. This tile, right about there. We could add this little line if you want for the one that goes off the page. All right, that's how you make a tiled wall. Okay, we're ready for the next step of trace and erase with your black marker. But I want you to notice up here with the tile, I didn't trace with the black marker, I traced with the green colored pencil, or whatever color you're going to want your tiled wall. So go right over your pencil line with a green colored pencil. Make sure you cover up the pencil line. So you need to press down a little bit strong. We're going to create this tiled wall. And then the vertical lines, I'm going to cover them up. The vertical lines. Okay, I'm not going to fill this in with the colored pencil, just the outlines. I'm going to fill it in later with crayon. So I'm just doing the lines right now. So if you end up with a pencil line that shows up a lot, gently erase it off. So that's the background, the tiled wall. Now use your marker, trace and erase step, a black marker. Okay, you're going to carefully trace all those beautiful lines you did for your pie. So let's see, we started with that curve, right? And this big line that went to the point. Then it went across here on the fold. Then we went down the side of the pie and connected that. And then we went down for the pie crust. And the edge of the pie crust is this curvy line. And then the curves for the spoonful of whipped cream. And then the whipped cream really needs this extra highlight to help it look more like whipped cream. You can even put a curve right here. That's going to help it look more like the curvy whipped cream. Alright, so the pie crust has these little shapes. That's going to have value, light parts and dark parts. Now the pie plate, it's an oval, so it's like a circle that's flattened out, squished down a little bit. Take your time My line went a little bit curvy. That's okay. Do not worry about perfect curves. Now let's make the rim of the plate, going slowly, looking ahead. Where's your marker going? Look ahead of you. And make sure you turn your page so your hand doesn't get in the way and you can't see ahead of you. That little dash where the plate starts to dip, we're doing little dashes with the marker. Don't put too many dashes. Some dashes are longer than others. Okay, then the table line back here, right off the page, jump over the pie. Okay, make sure you erase all those extra pencil lines. I ended up with lots of pencil lines showing. You got to get rid of those pencil lines, making your art ready for the color step. Okay, we're ready for color. I want you to use a crayon and peel off part of the paper of the crayon, and you're going to lay down the crayon flat to do a technique of crayon rubbing. So you're going to hold it flat like this, pinch the top of it so you can move it across the paper. You're going to fill in your wall with the crayon. So turn your page to get the right angle, get around the pie, just this top part, the tiled wall. And you want to gently, you don't have to push down really hard, gently rub it across the paper, and get a light layer of green there for the wall. Now maybe you wanted your wall to be blue or yellow. You don't have to have a green wall. All right, now let's do the table. This one here, I chose blue for the table. You don't have to use blue, but you are going to use a crayon and peel part of that paper away, lay it down, and then rub the crayon carefully around that plate, pinch it, and notice that I'm going side to side only. Don't swirl around and go up and down. Go side to side. That's going to help it look like a table with your color strokes going across. Side to side. You can turn the page like this, so now I'm up and down. Get close to the plate, but not on top. Go right off the edges. And like the wall, it's just a light layer of color. Awesome. All right, let's do the plate. I have a gray crayon. If you don't have a gray crayon, your plate can be any color you want. You can even put a pattern, a design. Like I know some plates have a pattern. I'm going to put some dots. I've seen a lot of plates with dots on the edges. So if you want to do something like that, that would be cool. But your plate needs to have value. So a dark edge and a lighter part for the middle of the plate. I'm going to use this gray crayon. Use any color you want. The edge is going to be darker, so I'm pressing down stronger on the edge of the plate right now. Okay, and then the middle of the plate, I'm going to do a light layer. So I'm not pressing very hard. I'm just kind of floating over the paper. Let the crayon do the work. Float over the paper for a lighter value, a lighter color. Now I'm going lightly, but that doesn't mean it's sloppy. I'm still filling in the space with careful strokes, back and forth, light pressure. Okay, let's talk about pumpkin. So pumpkin pie ends up being different shades of orange. And the crust is also like a brown or orange shade. So for the crust, I have a color crayon that's called apricot, I think. Yeah, apricot. So I use that for the crust, but I layered brown with it. So I'm going to put this layer here. It's like a peachy or apricot. See if you have those colors. If not, use a very, very light layer of orange. Okay, just go everywhere on the crust. Okay, now we're going to layer brown on top with a brown crayon. I'm going to put right on top of that. This gives it the nice look of a crust color. Right on top there. blending the two colors. Now, at the top of the crust where we had those shapes need to be darker. So how are you going to get those darker? Okay, first try with the same brown and just put another layer. Is it getting darker? If not, you can try adding some black. Do you have a black? So I took a black crayon and added just a little bit of light black on top of those spots for the pie crust. Okay, so I skipped ahead to the rest of the color on the pie, and I'm going to show you some yellow to this shape of the whipped cream. And then I did that with a colored pencil. Some yellow, and then I just put a little bit of yellow on this edge also, and then most of the whipped cream stays white. Here on this part, the side that's dark, I put a layer of orange, not very dark, because I know I'm going to add brown on top. Then with the brown color, a brown crayon, then I press down harder so the two colors blend together, and it really gives it that nice pumpkin pie color. All right, so you need to have this part dark. So you're going to layer with brown on top of the orange. And then for the top of the pie, put a nice light layer of the orange. Keep on going, filling it up till all the white is covered up with a smooth layer of orange. All right, Eisenhower artists, I hope you enjoyed drawing this slice of pumpkin pie and using color to show value in your artwork. I'm going to be looking for the dark and light parts of the plate, the dark and light parts of the pie. I'm going to check for the color in the background, the crayon rubbing for the tiled wall and for the table. Take a picture of your art and submit it on those Canvas lesson pages. I'll see you next time.